Another patch? Why is there another patch? I was fine with the last patch. I don't know, it's chill, but like, why? I'm kidding, I'm actually really grateful for this. It would be fantastic if this kept going. I just feel like, considering it's only been 1 day, it's a bit much, you know, like it's literally been 1 day. I just feel like that's insane. In addition, like before that, it was only 4 days. I would rather, like, if we just had consistent patches, like over the span of like, you know, a week, like, and keep going, rather than this whole like done for 3 months. And then like within the span of 2 weeks, we have like 8 patches. It's just like, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I just feel like spreading it out might be better. Regardless, let's get into the patch. So recently I got to play with CC&C in a few pubs, 2 just ranked pubs on my main account, and I made them into videos. I played Tusk and Winter Wyvern, and they're eventually going to be on the main site. So if you're interested in learning how to actually just dominate with those heroes and really just learn tips from the pros, you should check it out, right? Because I don't get that opportunity a lot where I just get to play with the pro and kind of get to move around the map with them, gank their lane, and really just understand what's going on through their heads. So if you want to just see that or learn anything about Dota, it's really the place to be. I'm putting out a lot of cool content on there. I'm basically making a new random to 6K video or a few a week. It's been absolutely amazing, and I feel like I'm adding a lot of value. So if you're interested, I'd love to see you guys there, and click the link in the description below. The first thing I note about the patch and the general changes is that it's so detrimental to XP. They're like killing XP. I feel like I was a personal fan of the fact that most heroes were getting XP. It was fun because no matter what you were playing and who you were playing, you would hit 6 by approximately the 10-minute mark, right? Assuming there was outposts and Toma knowledge. Right, now what they've done is, well, first off, passive gold income no longer increases with hero level, so like you're getting less passive gold. I guess that's okay because that's just making core snowball even harder, which isn't, but regardless, like it hurts supports who are just banking on passive gold for a lot of their gold, right? And as a result, I don't know how I feel about that. Like, I just think Dota should continue in the route of making Pos 5 more fun, so the game is more fun for everyone. And then Toma Knowledge, 1 stock at minute 10 instead of 2, which is weird to me because I liked not having to fight over Tome. I really did. I liked not having to fight over Tome. I like not having to, you know, debate this with my position 4, or even if it was a position 3 who had a bad lane. I like just being like, yeah, it's cool. You know, we both get one. Now that's not the case. In addition, hero XP bounty, it was reduced. By not a lot, this is like seemingly close to nothing, frankly, but it's reduced, right? That's like, it just kind of shows a trend in what Ice Frog is thinking is reduced. And then Outpost XP was also reduced. It's just a bunch of XP reduction, which I don't like. I like the fact that a lot of heroes had levels. I like the fact that you could fight early as a result of that. I like the fact that it was fun because of that. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm missing something, maybe it's unhealthy for the game. I personally enjoyed it. I'd like to know what you guys think as well. If you felt the same way, like the video, because I don't know, that's how I felt, so definitely like it to let me know. Item changes. Elixir was straight up removed. This item was a bit hit or miss. I think the reason, if I had to give my like personal take on why I think it's removed, is mainly for the fact that it's one of those items that's like just oddly RNG, where it's like, okay, if you're getting griefed, you know, like you're having a bad game and then you just jungle and it's like, okay, I'm like 100 HP, 100 mana, and I just jungle some Elixir. It's like, oh, all of a sudden I can just stay in the game for a giga long time. It's just like, I don't know. I think it was one of the more like RNG-ish items where it's just too good to some extent. If you guys kind of understand what I mean, where it's too situationally good. It also felt clunky, the fact that you have this like consumable item that's not like, I don't know, overall I think it's fine. I don't feel like Elixir was like some item I was enjoying particularly a lot. Poor Man's Shield's slight buff, okay. Iron Talon slight buff. I think both of these items were not that great, so like makes sense. Clumsy Net, they reduced the duration by 0.25 but increased the stats. So like, alright, I mean, I would say the item's still just the same. It's good on the same heroes. Really good on Snapfire is what I've heard. So if you're playing Snapfire, pick up the Clumsy Net. Apparently it's really strong. Can set up for your W, set up for your ulti. Nether Shawl, self-armor reduction reduced. Yeah, I definitely did not love this item. I mean, it makes sense, like, what they're trying to go for here. It's like, oh, it's some spellcaster item where you sit in the back. But like, it's even sort of a tank item for heroes that have armor. You know what I mean? You can 20% magic resistance is actually a really high number, but I don't know. I just don't like this item. I think it's one of the worst ones, to be honest. Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe people just don't see the value in it. It could be really good on a hero like Pudge if you buy like armor items to substitute for it. But other than that, I don't know. I guess the numbers are actually pretty good. Maybe I'm underestimating this item a bit. Greater Fury Fire. Why are they doing this? Just kind of weird. The attack damage increased from 30 to 35 and health reduced from 500 to 450. It's like they buff one stat and then nerf the other. I just don't. I guess it makes it like an overall better passive item to have in your inventory, but like not by a lot. Considering this is what, tier 3? It's like 5 damage. I don't know. This seems just pointless to me. It seems like some filler some of these just, like, I don't know, it's just like filler. Like, is this necessary to change at all, or is this just to make the patch note look bigger so people feel like the game is getting changed? I'm not a pessimist, and I really try to avoid being pessimistic, but, like, it just seems very unnecessary to me. I don't see the value in this change. It's not like I was like, oh, I can't believe the guy with the greater fairy fire lives on 50 HP. I have said in the past, I know for a fact that it's like, oh, you know, like, wow, they randomly healed for 500. That's kind of crazy. But I definitely haven't complained about the extra 50 HP that it potentially gave if it got nerfed. But I know that's a bit nitpicky, but at the same time, like, I don't know. These two changes just feel like kind of weird to me. This one makes sense, but and so do these two. I don't know. It was kind of weird. Helmly and Dying removed. Yeah, I agree. And what I mean by I agree with this decision. I think the item just didn't make any sense. It's like one of those items where you pick it up and it's like you put on a hero and it just kind of makes the game unfun or un-Dota-y, where it's like you kill them and then they're just alive. It's like, okay. It's just like, I don't know. It just felt bad. It felt really, really bad, actually. Not just bad. It felt really bad because you shouldn't be able to just continue playing the game after you've made a mistake. It's like just some foolproof item for idiots. I don't even know what else to say or how else to phrase it. So yeah, I'm glad it got removed. Orb of Destruction is reduced from 6 to 5, the armor reduction, and it no longer pierces spell immunity. Yeah, that needed to happen. The fact that you could slow melee heroes that were BKB'd by 30% was unbelievably good. This item by far was one of the best tier 3s. It was just so good for any right clicker. You just slow everyone for giga amounts, especially considering it was through BKB, was beyond good. It was literally beyond good. So I do think this item needed a nerf, and I believe this is generally appropriate. It still makes the item really good, just a bit more situational. So if they have BKBs, it's a bit worse, which I think is very fair. Enchanted Quiver, yeah, this item has to keep getting buffed. I know it has its situational value on specific heroes, but it's like, it takes up an item slot, it gives you absolutely zero stats, zero mobility, zero defensive or offensive capability. It just gives you this ability to just yoink wands for 270 damage, which frankly is a lot. Not, like, if you read the item, it's a lot. It is tier 3 though, which means it spawns at 25 minutes, meaning, like, nukes at that point, do they matter? Of course. It's just like, how practical is this to take it over some other stat item? I think it is generally practical on specific heroes, especially if you don't buy a lot of small items for whatever reason, but I think this item will get buffed again personally, unless I'm missing something. I don't know. I don't think it's that insane. That's my take though. Telescope, attack range bonus increased from 125 to 150, which is AoE, so all of your ranged heroes around you get an attack range bonus, unless this works on melee heroes, which I definitely do not think is the case. It just says increases attack range, so I really don't think it's melee heroes. That'd be pretty insane. But I don't know, I feel like this item was fine. I actually think it's a really good item. Giving everyone around you cast range was pretty nuts. Like, it adds up, you know what I mean? It's basically like having some 600 cast range item, essentially, just spread out, obviously, but I don't know. It feels fine. I don't think it had to be changed. Once again, it's just another change where it's like, I can't tell if this is being done, because I don't think the item was bad, actually. I don't think any of these items were bad or needed that much changing. So it's like, is this being done to make people feel like... I actually hate saying that. I don't even know. I don't feel like I should be saying this, because I don't think it's necessary to say. I feel like it's better to just keep, like, everyone optimistic about the game, rather than just be even sort of negative. I'm just trying to understand it, and maybe I'm just missing something, so if you guys understand, like, why, or have an idea of why this would happen, maybe you can't understand it, right? No one knows exactly what he's thinking, but if you have an idea, let me know. Illusion duration increased from 20 to 30 seconds, and strength and agility. Yeah, this is good because it's a tier 4 item, meaning it spawns at 40 minutes, super late into the game, which makes it kind of rough for certain heroes, but it's been buffed twice now, which I think needed to happen. It was kind of impractical on the majority of heroes, so do I think it will still be used? No, not that much at least. I think what this should be used for is on supports to illusion bait. I did it in a qualifier match, actually felt really good. Got like a charge forced and an ulti forced. I don't know, it felt valuable for that reason, but like, you can use it to also siege high ground, so like if you're split pushing in the or have to siege, it can be really good for that. But I definitely think this is more of a backpack item rather than like this, you're just gonna keep it in your inventory item. Havoc Hammer, base damage reduced from 35 to 30. Okay, so it's a bit worse. Now it deals 175 plus 1 times your strength in the area around you. Okay, that's the active. So probably on strength heroes, it's going to be around a 300 damage nuke. Right, 300 damage nuke, and that's okay, but it's tier 4, so it's a bit underwhelming in my opinion. I think it's fine. I don't think this changes the value of the item too much, though. I think it's, you know, it's good, though. Having a 300 damage nuke can obviously finish off kills, so pretty good. Flicker now provides 30% movement speed, which is good. This item was a bit weird. Can be a bit hard to use. It's like an RNG item and it's RNG. It's like, this is it's so RNG. It's so RNG, but I don't know. I think it's good. It was a bit situational, so I like the 30 movement speed change. And Fairy Fire, cost reduced, so it's back to the old Fairy Fire if I'm not mistaken. Or was Fairy Fire used to be 85 gold? I don't know, but this makes, there's going to be a lot more Fairy Fires for sure now, because it's 55 gold less, which is a lot less. That's a lot less, especially for the early game. What I want to note about that especially is that in the early game, I believe a lot of mid laners would be left over with 50 gold. So if you change out some items, you can buy a Fairy Fire or two. So yeah, I think this is good because the old Fairy Fire, it was a bit too expensive to fit into most item builds. It was like, I could have this 125 gold item or a branch and a mango. Like it seemed pretty obvious most games just to go the branch and the mango. So yeah, I like this change. Now let's get into hero changes. Not a lot of them, but I think they need to happen. Rupture cooldown. Yeah, Bloodseeker was one of the better carries of the patch for sure. In general, this hero was having general success in a lot of the pubs that I was watching. So Rupture cooldown increased by only 10. The hero still very good. Keep picking Bloodseeker if you enjoy the hero. Crystal Maiden base mana regeneration was reduced from 1.5 to 1, which is what it was at the patch. But the self multiplier was increased from 2 to 3. So that's a huge buff for CM in general. Yeah, that's huge. Like having 3 multipliers is definitely better than the extra 0.5 mana regen. So yeah, it's just overall pretty good for CM. I think she gives a lot of mana regen out of her team if I'm not mistaken. I think it was less in the past, and now it's more. It's not necessarily more for herself overall, but I believe it's around, it used to be 8, now you get 7 in total when you're maxed out, so pretty good. I think it kind of balances out CM to kind of what she was in the past, but overall that's fine. I think it's basically like she was reverted. Drow Ranger, nerfed. Funny enough, I just made a video on this hero, and the hero is doing extremely well, but now she got a few major changes actually. 20% less damage at max, which obviously matters because, you know, there's going to be situations in the game where that 20% damage is going to allow someone to live. Also, it's an AoE, so it really adds up over time. And this is also your farming ability, so, like, pretty big nerf to Drow. I mean, she was doing really, really well, so it makes sense. Also, some 2 talent nerfs. The more important one, in my opinion, being this cooldown reduction. Such a good talent. Still is good. Like, if you still get there, I still think you take 40% CDR. I mean, it works on items and skills, so, like, it's just so good on Drow, who buys a lot of active items. So, yeah, overall, like, I think this is pretty good. I'm afraid that Drow's going to drop a lot now, but we'll see. We'll see. Leena base damage reduced by 2. Okay, so I didn't feel like Leena was that crazy. Guess she was still getting picked. But okay. I don't know. Maybe it's just I haven't seen too much Leena, but Leena's been doing well, so okay. I don't know. Outworld Devourer, Sanity's Eclipse reduced. So yeah, what I heard about OD was that this hero was a big sleeper of the patch, only because people were so confused about how good he was. But I saw a lot of players buying things like Veil and Kaya and Bloodstone and like these type of builds that just give you a ton of mana and stuff. And as a result, like the hero would just like bop people with his ultimate. So they nerfed the ultimate actually pretty hard. Because the multiplier is pretty significant. You know what I mean? It's small numbers, but it's multipliers, so it kind of adds up a lot. So, yeah, I don't know. Guess it makes sense. I heard this hero was actually doing really well. Didn't see a lot of it, but heard it was doing well. Treant Protector. Yeah, so a lot of people complaining about Treant. I believe both of the Dagger brothers were complaining about the hero on Twitter. I guess PPD didn't complain. He just made like a poll about it. But Robot Vice's brother was definitely complaining about it. And a lot of people were complaining about it. It's not only them. That just stands out in my head because like it's like, okay, people on Twitter are willing to complain about this hero. I don't see a lot of that, frankly. I see it from time to time, but like not like multiple people. I even saw other tweets about it too. But the mana cost on Li Shi was upped by 30, which is actually quite a lot for the landing stage. In addition, the cooldown was up by 6 at level 1, which is huge because people would take this at level 1 and just kind of like walk up to you, cast it, and then trade, and it was like a really low cooldown, really low mana, so like it was almost impossible to trade with Treant for that reason. But now that it's nerfed quite a bit, you still can just kind of use it. It's not like that bad. You still can kind of trade till you die, but definitely pretty big number nerfs. And then Overgrowth, this one is huge. Overall, same at level 1, so I still think this hero is kind of viable. I'm not going to lie, I don't think Treant's out of the meta by any means. I still think the hero is quite good. However, 30 more seconds on your ult when it's maxed out is very significant, simply because like you can play very high tempo with Treant, and your other spells are very low cooldown, which would enable you to just make these huge team fight plays quite consistently. But 30 seconds can make the difference between you being able to get it off in every single fight or not. So yeah, I think it's a start. I do think Treant is still probably very good. Only because, like, it's not like Leech Seed is a worse spell in terms of what it does, which was a lot. It's just, you use it less consistent, and it's obviously more mana, but you still can use it, which is at the same impact. And same thing for Overgrowth. It still does 100 damage in an AoE, which would allow you on 5 heroes to do up to 1500 magical damage with one spell. That's not combining the fact that you have, you know, 2 other spells that do a lot of damage as well. So, yeah, still think Treant's very good. Would not say any of these heroes are unplayable, but I think really good changes to kind of balance things out. So overall, I like the patch. I think some of the item changes confuse me a bit, and I don't love the XP things, but We'll see how it plays out, and let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Peace.
Are you tired of being hard stuck at your rank? Over at gameleap.com, we have a library of hundreds of guides authored by pro players and coaches covering literally every aspect of Dota. Whether you're looking to master a new hero or role, or just polish up your existing skills, GameLeap is the proven place for competitive gamers to hone their craft and unlock their secret potential. Hit the link on screen right now to take advantage of our special offer for a 25% discount, guys. 25%, and start your journey today.